So there's been some interesting news about the New England Patriots as of late. But before I get into that, let me just quickly go over my thoughts on the Monday night game, first and foremost. Now, to kind of explain why I'm not dedicating an entire video to it, to be honest, guys, I don't have too much to say about it. It was just kind of business as usual. I got other videos I'm trying to work on, so to kind of wrap it up, I thought it was a very dominating performance from the defense. They made Sam Darnold, I think he threw 4 picks, if I'm not mistaken. Just very great performance from the defense. They forced, I believe I heard 6 turnovers. Really good game. And I also want to point something out, something else I heard about that game. They posted a shutout. They beat the Jets 33-0. For the second time this season, they posted a shutout, and it was on the road, so that's even more awesome. But I had heard a statistic somewhere that the last team to post 2 shutouts in an NFL season was the 1942 Chicago Bears. That is insane. We're witnessing history. This defense is historic. And I've said before, I'm very excited to see where it goes from here. But that kind of just sums up my quick thoughts on the game against the Jets. Yeah, just kind of business as usual. I will do a traditional formal video on the game against the Browns, whether they win or lose. So let's get to the good news. Let's get to the good first. Pats made a trade for Mohamed Sanu. They sent a second-round pick to Atlanta. I've heard a lot of people say that this is steep, and I do think it is to an extent. A second-round pick is a lot for a guy like Mohamed Sanu, who isn't really like an explosive receiver in the league, but he's a name and he's a good player. I actually didn't know this, but he's got a little bit of experience playing quarterback. So, and he also comes from Rutgers. And I was listening to Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless talk about this, and Shannon pointed out something that was interesting to me. He said Mohamed Sanu he went to Rutgers, a very high football IQ, a quintessential Belichick player, and I absolutely agree with that. Sanu provides New England with some size, versatility. He can play inside the slot or on the outside. And as I mentioned, has experience playing quarterback. This season, he has 33 catches, 313 yards, and just 1 touchdown. I think this is a good move for both sides. I think the Falcons are they're getting a second-round pick. What more has to be said? But Mohamed Sanu, do I think he takes the Patriots and elevates them to levels of unbeatable? Not really, but I do think he will make our offense better. I think the fact that he does have a high football IQ, I think he will work in this offense. Also, it's worth noting that he's actually around until the end of next year, so he's not just a rental. So personally, I don't think the second round pick is that big of a deal. I do see the point that it is steep, but historically the Patriots do not draft well in the second round. So really no, I don't see this as a big loss. I really like the Mohamed Sanu trade for New England, and I'm looking forward to it. Moving on to some more good news. The Pats also signed 3-time Pro Bowl cornerback Justin Bethel. He's a special teams specialist, kind of like Matthew Slater, and that's awesome. We've seen the importance of special teams, especially in New England. So having a special teams guy is always going to be great. Plus, 3-time Pro Bowl cornerback, that never hurts. Justin Bethel was released by the Ravens. Just wanted to point this out. Really good signing. I like this signing for New England. It's always great to welcome in a Pro Bowl corner, especially one that's really good on special teams. So, yeah, much like the Sanu trade, I am looking forward to seeing where this one goes. Okay, so moving on to another trade that was made. This one involving the Pats sending a player to a team. That would be Michael Bennett. The Pats are sent. They sent Michael Bennett to the Cowboys for a 2021 late round pick. It's a seventh round pick that can become a sixth round pick. So the story behind this is that Michael Bennett got suspended for the game this past Monday night. I guess he got into an argument with I don't know if it was Coach Belichick directly or if it was one of the other coaches. I don't, off the top of my head, I don't remember. But he was suspended, and then he made some comments to the media, and he was sent to the Cowboys. I'm not going to go any further on that point. I'm just going to talk about this from the perspective of a fan that's going to judge the move on its merit. I think this actually isn't too bad for the Patriots. It frees up some cap space. It frees up a roster space, so that's always interesting. Truly was not the worst thing for New England to do. You know, our defense obviously didn't suffer without Michael Bennett. We posted a shutout. I liked Michael Bennett. I think he's a good player. He's really a really great player, but it didn't seem like it was working. He was fitting into our scheme. The Pats run a 3-4. He works best in like a 4-3, and that's what the Cowboys run. I guess I don't know for sure. I'm not a Cowboys fan, but I do want to say that does lead me to the next point. I think the Cowboys, on the surface, are getting a great player, and I think he will probably fit in a lot better with like DeMarcus Lawrence and company. I think he will make the Dallas Cowboys a better team. I think he'll make their defense a lot better. Much like the Sanu trade, I think this is a good fit for both sides. As I said, it frees up some cap space for New England, but it also gives them an open roster spot, and you know we just don't need him. Let's be honest. Our defense is not going to suffer without him. We'll be fine. So the last thing I want to talk about is the Pats placing Josh Gordon on IR, season-ending IR. So this happened this past Thursday night against the Giants. Not this past Thursday night, excuse me. A couple weeks ago against the Giants. He hurt his knee. It was said to not be that severe, but he was placed on season-ending IR, and it apparently came as a shocker to even Josh Gordon himself. Like he had no idea that he had even been placed on IR. The Pats are expected, from what I gather, they're expected to waive him. So it does appear to be that Josh Gordon's time in New England is going to be coming to an end. I'm a little bummed about this one. I really did like Josh Gordon, and I'm happy to see that, at least from my perspective, from the outside looking in, it looks like he finally has kind of gotten over a lot of his demons, and he's moved past, and he's a better person, and he's gotten away from a lot of his addiction issues. It does seem like that from the outside looking in. I don't know for sure. I don't know Josh Gordon, but from a player standpoint, I mean, you know, much like the Michael Bennett thing, we made a move. We got Mohamed Sanu. Philip Dorsett's coming back, who has been really good in our scheme. We still have Edelman on the field. Jacoby Myers has been playing some good football. We got N'Keal Harry coming back too, who in a lot of ways is almost the same receiver as Josh Gordon. You know, a big-bodied receiver that can go up and get it. You know, Birdie or maybe in the future Stidham would have to put the ball in the air. N'Keal Harry just goes up and gets it. So I'm not too bummed in that regard that Josh Gordon went on IR. I'm also not too surprised. I feel like this was more of a hey, we got this rookie coming up. It's time for him to get some experience, and you know, I mean, I guess we need to do something. And Josh Gordon just didn't seem like he was having the season that he was having like a year ago. He had a really good season, pretty decent season last year. He did get a ring with us, and he did what he had to do. So my point being, if this truly is the end of Josh Gordon on the Patriots, It was fun while it lasted. I do think he can help out another NFL team somewhere. Maybe like, I don't know, Green Bay, San Francisco might need him. Or maybe even Carolina. I don't know. I think he can help an NFL team. An NFL team would really benefit from having a guy like him. But I just think the Pats don't really need him. So him going on IR, it does kind of suck, and I am a little bit bummed. But I'm not gonna lose any sleep over it. It's not really that big of a deal to me. And overall, I just think I don't really think too much of it. All right, guys, you've heard my thoughts. I want to hear yours. What are your thoughts on the moves that were done? What do you think of the trades that were made? What do you think of the signing of Justin Bethel? Excuse me, Bethel. um, and what do you think of them putting the Pats on IR? Also, were there any moments in the Pats and the Jets game that stuck out to you? Any moments you want to talk about? I know I was really vague about the game. I do apologize. I will be back to do a video again on the Browns game against the Browns. I will be back to do a video that I normally do in that style against the Browns. So be on the lookout for that after Sunday. But until then, I'll see you guys next time.